Hey man, Todd with Empowered Mind Coaching. How you doing? Today is my last day in Rockville, Utah, visiting family. I am headed for Ecuador tomorrow, so there you go. Tomorrow I'll be traveling over the weekend. I'll be back on the coast for a while and then up into the mountains. So, it's been beautiful here. I've really enjoyed it. And it's time to move on. So, I want to talk to you about when do you quit your job when you want to get a new one, right? So I do career coaching, and I work with men who want to change their position, their jobs, their careers, find something new, find something different. And oftentimes what happens is, like, a man's fed up with his job when he finally gets a hold of me, right? Like, he can't take it anymore, and all he wants to do is quit sometimes. So this is kind of my rule of thumb. If you have a year's worth of expenses covered and you can pay them and not work, then great. But if it's less than a year, I really wouldn't do it. And the reason is, finding a new career is a bit of a journey. Sometimes it turns into something different than just getting a new job, same industry, different company. When we really get down into the nitty-gritty of looking at what you want to do, how you want to do it, what's going to make you happy, it becomes potentially a new path, which requires new training, maybe some schooling, some different things like that. And so what happens is, it's an extended journey. It's not a 1 month, 2 month, or 3 month deal. I have a client that I've been working with, super guy, and we have kind of done that change the route thing. Initially, our work together was about his background, his degree, his industry, just in a different employer, a different area of his industry. And as we really got into it and he started checking it out and he had interviews, and we're really talking about work-life balance, we're talking about what's going to make him happy, we're talking about, what he really wants to do for the next 10 years, that thing wasn't checking all the boxes. So we ended up going a new path. Now, he's still at his job while we were doing this, and that was really great. So we're going a new path. He's learning a new thing. He's doing certifications. It's taking a few months to get all that done, and he does it, right? And he's starting to get anxious. He's starting to get anxious to be employed, to go to the new position, new career, new industry. And his job is taxing. It's demanding. It's taking a lot of his time, and he just wants to quit. So the conversation he and I had was, if you quit, what's your runway? What's your length of time you can go without an income? And he told me, and really wasn't certain whether he was going to get the job he wanted before that. So the question becomes, are you going to feel stressed? Are you going to feel pressure? Are you going to end up taking a job because you've quit your job and you want to, replace your income and get that coming in? And so you're not giving yourself the full benefit. You're not giving yourself the option to say, no, that's not exactly what I want. I'm going to continue to look. I'm going to continue to wait. I'm going to continue to find that job I really, really want. And so he thought about it, and he didn't quit. And he continued on for a couple more months, finishing up some of the things that he needed to do to make him very well qualified for his next jump, his next position. And now he's at a place, he's like, look, my job is so taxing, it's taking all my time, from morning till night. And it's true, it really was. And now he's in a totally different place. So then the conversation became, well, what's your runway? And yeah, he had a bit of a runway he could go with. And then the question is, do you really need full-time to be looking for this job, or could you still work 2 or 3 days a week and then have 1, 2, or 3 days to just really focus on the job and move careers. And this is what was interesting too. He was in a good place where he had money saved up, so he could go to his employer and he could say, look, I'll stay here and I'll work for you. I'm only going to work part-time. I'm only going to work 2 days a week. You know, and when you go to an employer and you tell them that, they might just tell you to hit the road and take a hike. So he had covered his bases. He had his runway just in case they did that. But they didn't do that. Man, they were upset. They didn't want him to leave, right? And this is so typical. Oftentimes in a position, the employer will burn you out. They don't give you the resources. They don't give you the support. They don't give you what you need so you can have a life too, as well as work and perform and do well. But then when you're headed out the door, you know, all of a sudden they want to offer you everything, which is unfortunate, but it's a reality. So anyway, he held his ground. He said, no, you know, 2 days, 3 tops. In fact, I'll do 3 days a week for 4 weeks while we get somebody else trained in here. And then I'm down to 2 days a week. And so his employer said, sure, you know, you're so valuable to us. We want you to do that. But you need to be prepared if you're going to make the statement, yeah, I'm just doing part-time and that's it, that they might just say, no, that's not going to work for us and take a hike. So you need to have your runway. You need to have the savings behind you. So anyway, it's worked out really good for my client. So right now he's going to be moving into a part-time position. He's going to have these extra days to really focus, get his job. He's gotten everything done. He's got all the skills, the background, everything he needs to really just land it. But it's been a process, and it's also been one that has required patience, right? Not just quitting his job. If he would have just quit his job back when we started, he would have probably had to just get a job doing what he was doing before. It would have been a mess. So think about it. Create your runway, give yourself some buffer, be patient, and maybe step it down. Go into a part-time and then quit or whatever as you're looking for your job. Ideally, keep your job, get the new job, boom, transfer, and it all works out great. If you'd like to know more about this or discuss it further, get a hold of me, leave a comment, please subscribe. I'm Todd with Empowered Men Coaching. Catch you later, men. Ciao.